Good morning, radio listeners. You're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. And this is the Friday edition of The Morning Buzz. My name is Leslie Gallagher. I'm your host today, and I'm joined by Jake S., my co host, and Isaiah Ramirez as our newscaster. And how are y'all doing today in finals season?
Oh boy, I guess I'm doing all right. I think finals are not too bad for me. I'm lucky. I've been blessed.
I cannot
And
relate.
yeah, so I'm doing pretty good. It is really
Yeah.
early though, so
True.
coffee is helping.
It is a little early to think about the week ahead, but we do have like one whole week left. I guess depending on
Yeah.
when your finals are. Isaiah, how are you doing? I know
Honestly,
we share a class together.
we do share that one class together.
It's a very stressful class to me.
Yeah.
Which one? Wait, which one is it?
It's called Hawk Communications.
Yes.
Oh
It's
God.
it's like it's just a very intense class.
Is it
That's
Hmm.
just
just
like focusing on communication studies, just like in general,
it's
or?
it is like it's like a student run like public relations
Oh
agency.
boy.
So we actually get into groups and everyone has two clients. So we do public relations work for them.
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's been pretty rough actually, because like one group, it's been like I've gotten work consistently, and the other group is like, I don't know if I want to announce what their company name is, but they just like, yeah, we don't really care what you guys do. We're
Oh,
not
I
gonna
think
really
I already
talk
know
to
which
you.
one you're in
Yeah,
then.
yeah. So I'm just sitting there. I'm like, why did I sign up for this group?
Oh my
And
god. I almost signed up for that group too. Wait, that's really
it was
funny.
a bad decision. So and
Oh.
I'm actually taking that class again because
Oh, in the fall too?
counts, yeah, it
Aw.
counts for my other, what do you call it?
Requirement thingy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it fills
I
another
guess.
requirement. So I mean, I
Yeah.
liked half of my class, I guess. So I was like, why not take it again?
Damn.
Um,
We do
Other
that.
than that, finals week has been pretty easy. I'm not gonna lie. I feel
Wow.
pretty calm right now, feeling zen. Um, and yeah,
Nice.
guys.
I'm like the only one here who's like internally freaking out.
Oh yeah, man. Do you actually have like finals?
I have like one like actual sit down, like
Mm-hmm.
1.5 hour test. That's
Oh
for a
man.
gen ed, and well, let's just say that for maybe a handful of Zoom calls, I've taken a nap during class. I'm not saying be
Oh,
like me.
It's
I'm just
valid.
saying this is my reality.
this is what's happened.
this is
This
this
is
is
my
just my
truth.
life. So we'll see how that final goes. No, I'll be fine. I'll study for
Yeah,
it.
you can study.
But and then on top of that, I have like three presentations.
Oh boy,
And
yeah, no, they're really laying on thick with the presentations and
yeah,
research papers. I guess for obvious reasons, but
I actually don't have any papers.
oh
That's
really?
super
Oh,
weird.
I
Yeah, I
have
just
like
realized that.
two.
Two.
I only have one.
Huh.
Man.
My other two assignments have been like video assignments. So I don't know if you guys know, but
Ooh, that sounds fun.
I have like a digital film class, and the teacher was like, all right, here's your final movie, hand it in, blah, 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 blah. And
Yeah.
then it was like, you can't have dialogue in it. So I was like, how am I going to do like
They
a
told you
movie
that
with
at the
no
last
dialogue?
minute.
No, not in the last minute. It was like
Okay.
in advance. He's like super strict. Like, I want you to focus on storytelling through the camera. I'm like, I don't get how that works. But
Through the camera. Are
so
you
my idea
Let me guess, you're
was,
not a film major, Isaiah.
I am not a film major, but I respect
The
the
feeling.
hustle of the film community.
Oh my god, so true. They gotta hustle a
Yes,
lot.
it's definitely difficult. But my idea was like fam. Have you guys seen Family Matters or no? The show,
Uh
Steve Urkel.
yeah, I think
Yeah, it
like
sounds
maybe once.
Okay, so like my intro is like it's like a parody of that show pretty much, and it was like super fun to make, but it took like 6 hours for it to render on my computer,
Wow.
so that
Ooh.
was very unfortunate for 3 minute
Yeah.
video too.
Yeah, that's the thing with like video making and filmmaking is it's a lot more I guess tedious than one would expect if you're doing it casually
yeah.
for a project.
Hmm.
But alas, the news in our lives is I guess a little mundane talking about finals. But Isaiah, what is going on in the world
Yeah,
today?
things are about to get
Oh
crazy.
goodness, guys, it's a crazy world we live in. So happy Friday, everyone. I'm Jose Ramirez, and let's just jump right into the news. Tensions continue to rise between Israel and Palestine. Israel has threatened to lead a ground invasion on the Gaza frontier, despite mediation attempts from Egypt for a ceasefire. Israel has called up 9,000 reservists ahead of a possible ground invasion. The number of Palestinians killed in the Gaza Strip has now risen to 87, including 18 children and 8 women. The local health ministry has said At least 530 others have been wounded amid the continuing violence. President of the University of South Carolina, Bob Caslen, has resigned after admitting he was plagiarized part of his commencement speech. He plagiarized the speech of Admiral William McRaven, who oversaw the successful raid that killed Osama bin Laden. To make matters worse, he congratulated the graduates of the University of California instead of the University of South Carolina. The university has officially accepted Caslen's resignation and thanked him for his 2 years of service. A New Jersey contractor admitted in federal court that due to their violations of OSHA standards, an employee died on the job. Trustworthy Roofing and Siding did not provide fall protection for employees working on a home, which resulted in an employee falling off a roof and dying. Through its owner, Derico Ferreira, the company pleaded guilty to one count of willfully violating OSHA standards. The company faces 5 years probation and must pay $305,275 in restitution to the employees' estates. And now for a quick weather report. It's going to be a sunny day with a few clouds roaming around. The high for the day is 74 and the low is 51. You can enjoy a nice sunset around 8:06 later tonight. Consider yourself filled in on the news around the world and close to home. This has been Isaiah Ramirez reporting for WMSC 90.3.
Lovely, lovely. You give a
That's
good
an-
newscast.
And that was like
Yeah.
my second one that it's like the first
That was
one I've
so
written.
solid.
Oh, solid, but dang,
You
that's
sound
crazy
so calm
about the
too.
one
Thank you.
dude. It's crazy about the one dude that plagiarized his entire speech. Why would you do that?
I know. I
I
kept
don't
reading
know.
it and it kept getting worse though, because he's like, "How do you just not say the name of your college correctly though?" He's like,
You're
"Oh,
like-
congrats,
You're
University of
about to be
California."
like, to make matters worse, and I was like, wait, there's more to this story.
Like, how
I
could
was
you-
like, wait, what?
How
The
could you make that
snowball.
worse?
Hold up.
Oh my
Yeah, that's.
god.
Oh.
And
wow.
wait, what is it like? I don't know. It's
What?
he gave the speech he used to give. Oh wait, I guess he used another person's commencement speech.
Yeah, and
I
it
don't
would have been
know.
okay if he was like quoting him and then gave credit to
Yeah,
him, but
that's-
he
yeah, that's
did the
different.
speech as if he made it
Took
himself.
the speech. Oh my god.
Bro.
Bizarre.
So shout out to him to thinking no one would notice that.
I
Yeah.
know. Like it's just so ironic to me too, because I don't know, like it's in school we're always taught about academic integrity and not plagiarizing. We're taught about it. I feel like in almost not like every year in college, but like I feel like teachers always put it in like their policies, and a lot of them will like say something about it at like maybe like the first day.
Oh yeah.
And it's
People-
such, it's
yeah,
such
they've
a
been
big
good about
thing.
that.
And then he is what the president of the was the president of the University of
Was.
South Carolina, and he did the same thing. So that's very oh, dare I say interesting, or should I say
Yeah.
ironic? That's a better word.
Yeah, ironic. That's a good one.
Wow. Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Interesting.
That is
Fairly
very-
interesting.
Hey Cam, how are you doing? Cam Arn just joined us on the Zoom call, our sportscaster. How are you doing, Cam?
Well, I feel a lot better after oversleeping.
Oh,
Nice. Sometimes you need
hey.
it.
At least you got sleep. There's a bright side to everything.
That's very true.
You ready to give us our sportscast of the day?
Yeah, actually, I only had one sportscast today.
Oh wow.
There's a little something that meant a little something to me to see this. So yesterday, one of my teammates, Christine Griffith, was named the Thomas M. Garrity Most Outstanding Athlete in the World Track and Fields. That is truly an inspiration to me. Christine played softball and volleyball for 4 years at William Patterson. She graduated from there in 2019 and decided during the fall 2019 semester to come to Montclair State. She has not ran track in nearly 5 years. During that semester, she ran cross country, decided to throw shot put again, as well as compete in the heptathlon. She helped me so much as a freshman. Then COVID hit, canceled her outdoor season. She fought so much to compete. As a result of that, Christine competed in this outdoor season. And just being able to witness it firsthand, truly spectacular. Last week, she won both the NJAC championships in the javelin and the shot put events. Currently, Christine is 18th in the nation in the javelin and 22nd in shot put. She has an opportunity to qualify for the Nationals in upcoming Thursday in the Rome Last Chance meet. She will graduate from Montclair State with a master's degree in psychology. Christine, if you're listening, Thank you for being one of the very best teammates I've ever had. Thank you for looking out for me and trusting me when you were heptathlon. I'm going to miss you so much, but I know you're going to achieve the phenomenal. You will always be family to me.
Is that all through
That's
sports?
that's
Yes.
that's just
Good.
sports test.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's always tough when people older than you graduate.
Yeah.
Shout out
It's
to
gonna be a
Christine.
crazy thing to address like a whole generation of people who had to go through stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, Jake, Jake.
Yes.
Shall we continue on with some COVID-19 news?
Oh, do we have to?
Just in case no one is sick of hearing it, we have some more each
Oh
and every
yeah.
day on the morning buzz.
Yeah, Okay. So, but you know what? This is
This is actually
debatably
hopeful news. This
good
isn't bad.
news. Actually,
Well, actually,
this
I
is,
feel
I'd say for the most part, pretty good. I don't know.
it depends
Let's
on how you look
jump
at it,
into
though.
it. CDC unveils new mask guidance for fully vaccinated Americans. The CDC updated the guidelines for fully vaccinated people, saying that they could safely resume, including small resume gatherings without the need to wear a mask, including attending small outdoor gatherings, and can forgo wearing a mask but urge continued use of face coverings in most indoor settings and in crowded outdoor areas. So,
This is the
yeah,
beginning of the no mask era, I guess, which
yeah,
is
this is the
so
beginning of
weird.
the return,
And
I guess.
just in case any radio listeners wanted to hear a fun fact, we're required to wear like masks in studio, of course, even when we're by ourselves, because
You're,
it's the rules. I don't know.
you're required to wear a mask everywhere on campus, right? That was my
Yeah,
understanding. Just
yeah,
like
you
if
are.
you
It's
leave your dorm, you have to be wearing a mask.
pretty much.
I
Yeah.
always put mine on whenever I leave my car and keep it
Mm-hmm.
on until I.
Yeah. I find it so funny when people I don't know, like they put it on after they get out of their car. I don't know, because I'm in a habit of putting it on when I'm in my car and then
Yeah.
when I don't know, little things.
I guess it
But
doesn't matter, yeah.
yeah, I guess not. If no one's around you, it's the thing though. Is like if you're getting out of your car, I mean, there could be
Someone could
people
walk
around.
up, you don't know.
Yeah, and it's a courtesy thing too, at some point. But well, with these new mask guidelines, I guess people will be wearing masks less. I mean, how does that make you feel? Does it make you guys feel nervous? Makes me not. I don't know if it makes me feel nervous. Let's talk about you guys. How do you feel about it before I get into it?
Oh boy. I have
Loaded
mixed
question.
feelings. I'm genuinely not sure. On one hand, I'm kind of glad because I feel like something like this had to happen sooner or later with people getting vaccinated. And with people getting vaccinated, it's kind of like what else would you wait for? You know?
Mm,
Though I don't know. I think it could, I don't know. I hope it works out okay.
yeah. Well, how do you feel, Isaiah?
I was about to say, I think I'm kind of in that same lane where it's like you're not sure if you want to be like happy yet or be like still on edge, considering there's still gonna be that people that aren't gonna be wearing masks who haven't been vaccinated roaming around, and it's
Oh
not
my
like you're
God,
gonna
you're so
go up to
right.
them and be like, "Show me your vax card," and like that's not really gonna work that way. So
Yeah,
there's
are we
still a
gonna have to carry
chance.
those around everywhere? I don't know.
I just
Take a
got an
picture on your
image of my
phone.
head of like you have it like around your neck, like almost like a lanyard, and you just have it.
I know the
Oh,
ones that they
Imagine if
gave
that's
us
like a
at
new thing.
Montclair actually I don't know if I should show it, but they have like a
Love them.
laminated. I'll
Oh yeah,
block out the thing, but you can see it.
yeah. They
oh,
gave
that's
us
It can go
legit.
on a lanyard.
yeah the little was that like for ID? I think they gave us those for our IDs, right?
Oh boy, I don't know.
think
I didn't
so.
get one for my ID, but
Oh,
I got one for
or
my
maybe I
COVID
got one
vaccine.
myself.
I look nothing like the photo on my ID, so that might confuse a lot
Oh,
of
I,
people.
Same.
I look
It's
so
like
good on the
every
photo
ID
on
I've
my
ever had,
ID.
it's a completely different person, no matter what year it is.
Oh, if you look at my Montclair state ID and my driver's license, it's just like that's not the same person.
Right? I'm like, who are these people? And then I look at myself, I'm like, what is that person?
Yes, the mirror, your different photo IDs. You're just like, what?
Yeah, it's my alter
Man.
egos.
Oh my God. Yeah, but anyways, getting back to the whole mask thing, because this is just I don't know how I feel about this yet. And I think back to what you were saying, Isaiah, I think a lot of people who aren't fully vaccinated might just kind of use this as an excuse to walk around en masse saying that they are, because it's like, are you really going to go up to a stranger and ask them to prove it? I mean, I don't
I don't
know.
know.
I personally would just avoid them,
That's
Yeah.
true.
walk
I don't
them
know. I'm a
away.
little curious because I've heard that like some people definitely might do that, but I know a lot of people who aren't getting vaccinated are probably just gonna still wear masks. Like, I don't know. It's kind of
Hmm.
funny. You might think that,
I feel
but
like
like, I don't know.
there might be like two. I feel like two groups of people here,
Yeah, I
where
think
it's
we're probably gonna see
people,
both.
the people who keep wearing them, and then the people who would take them off right away.
Yeah.
Because the people who are skeptical, I mean, it's like, is I don't know, is it the right time to get rid of mask mandates? I'm not really sure. Not everyone has been vaccinated yet. Have enough people been vaccinated enough for this? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's only for fully vaccinated people, but still, I don't know. And it's
Mm.
like, oh, there's a lot of layers to it.
Yeah. It's
One
it's
more
like an onion. It has layers.
one more layer to peel on our onion is that New Jersey is actually not following these guidelines.
Oh yeah.
We are being rebellious and going against what this not like going against what the CDC is saying. It's just that we are just keeping the mask mandates in place instead of I don't know, joining in on this new guideline. Go for it.
Now, I remember seeing something with Governor Murphy. He said that New Jersey, basically New Jersey, will get back to normal by like May 19th. So the
Hmm.
CDC announced this yesterday. Does that mean that as of right now that everything's good to go for the rest of the United States?
It's a really good question. There might be a certain date. I mean, we'll get back to you on that.
Did we
But
beat COVID, guys? Is it over?
it's
Uh,
over?
uh,
It's
Yo,
done?
COVID
Ooh.
19 is over.
Guys, we
CDC
survived
says
it.
it is. Imagine if that was a headline one day. CDC says it is over, and
COVID
that's
It's
19
it.
is
done.
over. Never think about it again. In fact, never think about anything ever again.
Go back to living your life.
Yeah, we're gonna return to monkey.
I'm actually trying to see if there's a specific date that they said in this article that it like this is when it starts, like the magical date that we can stop wearing masks. But like I'm not really sure. I don't know. I'm not seeing anything specific like that at this very moment.
Hmm.
Mm.
But yeah, well, I guess it doesn't matter in a sense if we're all living in New Jersey and we're not following it anyway.
yeah, I mean,
But
listen,
I
this
guess if
is
you were traveling to another state,
Yeah,
I guess you'd have to look up what that state is doing because every state is doing something different.
totally.
Like generally, I mean, we're all in different wavelengths.
this is something never understood. Why can't we agree on anything, America? Dang, can we agree? Can we do all the
N-
same thing?
I wish I had the answer to that because we're so divided on so many things. We'd be here for hours if we got into that.
That's fair. That's a fair point. That's
Yeah,
a
and
very
also
fair
it's kind
point.
of always been that way, I guess, ever
You're
since
right.
like federalism versus anti-federalism. Like, I don't know.
Since the beginning of time, America.
Well, not
No, not the
time.
beginning of time. When America started to exist, I think.
Yeah, which was basically, never mind. I'm not gonna make
No.
that joke.
Yeah.
Um,
World history. America
yeah,
did not exist
yeah,
for
world
a long
history.
time.
So there was just like nothing. So some stuff was happening, but it wasn't important. But then at one point there was this thing called what was it called? The revolution.
The
There
revolution.
there are other revolutions, but this is the one that matters.
What
Yeah.
part? I'm like really trying to think of what part of history you're in, like, because I was literally going back to like the very beginning of civilizations, like that's where
Oh,
my
like
mind was,
the
and I was like,
Greeks and stuff.
I
Oh,
was
well,
on
that wasn't the Greeks.
dinosaurs.
That's Mesopotamia. Okay.
oh, Isaiah was on dinosaurs.
Yeah, I
We're
was
all on different parts.
way
We
out
were
there.
all. I
See,
was talking about the American Revolution. I was making fun of like
I
American
was.
centric.
I just had to hear which way you guys are going with this. I was thinking dinosaurs too.
Oh, okay.
hey, see,
Dinosaurs. Oh
dinosaurs all
man.
the way.
I was just thinking about I don't know because I remember learning in world history like the six or possible is it six or seven like civilizations that all started at different places in the world,
Oh yeah.
and that's all I could
No,
think of, and I couldn't name them now. But 2 years ago, yeah,
Your history.
for my AP history test, but
Oh,
high
nice.
school is
AP
behind us.
history.
Oh yeah, I didn't do good, but
No. Wow.
I didn't do well. Ha. Took my English one too. I didn't do well on that one. No, I did okay, but
That's hilarious.
it's all in the fat, yeah. But yeah, whew, mass. If um, would you guys, if New Jersey was following these guidelines, would you, I guess follow them in a sense? Would you stop wearing your mask in public? Because honestly, I would keep mine on. But what would you guys do?
I think it's definitely dependent on like the situation. Like,
Yeah. If
like
it was a
again,
situation that was like CDC approved to not wear a mask, though.
yeah, like I don't know, like I don't know, maybe this is me telling on myself a little bit, but
Ooh.
like it says like vaccinated people can safely resume in like small outdoor gatherings.
Yeah.
But if you're not social distancing and if you're indoors and if you're crowded, then you should wear a mask. Which,
Mm.
I mean, isn't that kind of what we've been doing? Or at least it's kind of what I've been doing. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
I
I
don't
feel like
know.
it depends. Like indoors, if I'm like with my family, I'm not gonna keep my
Oh, well,
mask on.
yeah. Or
But
someone that you
you know,
see a lot and live with,
yeah, if
but
it's someone you see, like I'm not gonna wear my mask around my literal roommate that I live with on campus because that makes no sense.
yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. It depends, I guess. But
Me? Mm. Well, if New Jersey did that, I would probably take the mask off because
mm.
summer's coming up. I don't want tan lines to jack up my jack up. But
That's
it's not.
Tan
true.
It's
priorities, Cam.
and that's really not the really. It's just like
I'm kidding.
overall. Whenever I train, whenever I work out, it's kind of like I sweat a lot, and just having a sweaty mask, it
Oh
just
my god.
it's not exactly the most ideal thing to rock around with, and
Mm.
it's much harder to breathe if you get any moisture inside that mask. So
Oh
I would
god.
definitely take advantage of not wearing the mask if Jersey followed that.
I'm like getting flashbacks from last summer when we had to start wearing them, and I was just, ugh,
Mm.
sweating. Ugh, it bugs me to no
Yeah.
end. Isaiah.
Yeah, I think I don't know. It's like I feel like I'd probably be smart about it too in a sense. It's just like if I'm going to a mall, I'm probably gonna still want to wear a mask because like
Oh, for sure.
we're like fresh out of this whole panorama thing. So yeah, I'd
Panorama.
probably not I think if I went outside and it was like with like family or something, obviously I wouldn't wear it. But yeah, I think for big crowds, I still wouldn't feel comfortable with that.
I wonder when
And
we will feel comfortable is the thing, because I was thinking the same thing, like in a biggish crowd or even a medium-ish crowd. I don't know if I'm gonna feel comfortable for a long time. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
No,
I need
So the
that's a
that.
good
psychological
question.
psychological aspect is definitely there.
Absolutely. I feel like I'm gonna need some like real like scientific data to show that it's not spreading anymore for me to actually feel comfortable. I don't know.
Yeah, for like to see the rates really go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, where
That's
it's like
what would
actually
probably do it.
completely gone. I don't know. Whew. It's
Yeah,
yeah,
whole lot.
a whole lot. Well, anyways, Jake, shall we move on?
Yes, unfortunately.
As
So
much as it's fun to talk about COVID.
yeah, and as much as the story isn't super fun to talk about, so there was 9 wounded in Providence, Rhode Island after a shooting. 9 people were wounded yesterday evening in Rhode Island's capital in what police there believe to be the largest shooting in capital history. This is coming from the AP, by the way. Um, of the 9, 3 had serious injuries that could be critical. Uh, and he said multiple guns were used and it involved an ongoing feud involving 2 groups known to authorities. And the shooting began with gunfire emanating from a vehicle targeting a home, and it sounds like there was some sort of return of fire.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did they give any details as to what sparked this? Like
Yeah, no,
this feels
very
like a very specifically targeted shooting.
yeah, it does seem like there was some sort of like that's very vague the way they said that
Yeah.
it's involved in an ongoing feud, but
Yeah.
providing no details, like I don't know, feud.
I guess they can't reveal too much at some point with
Yeah, I guess that makes
details.
sense, but
I know sometimes uh with news like this, especially with shootings, unfortunately, like they don't have a lot of information right away, and even if they
yeah,
do, it's like can they really reveal certain things? So it's kind of tough in that
yeah,
sense to get the
totally.
details. But wow, this sounds really a scary situation to be in. And do we know if the 9 wounded people they're in the hospital, they're recovering? Do we
Yeah,
know
I think
anything about
so.
that?
I do think it says that 3 of them had serious injuries that could have the potential to be critical.
Wow.
But other than that, I assume that the rest are, doing relatively well. Um, yeah,
Recovering, hopefully.
yes, of course.
Yes.
Here's a question: how
Okay.
many times we cover shooting on just a Friday
It's
buzz
it's honestly like
this semester?
I
it's crazy for me
yeah.
to say because I saw this story and I was genuinely considering like, do I really want to even include this?
I
Because
know.
like we
It's the
talk
thing.
about it so often and like
I know. And that's the
I
thing
don't
is
know.
it's our job to, like, we have
Yeah,
to, because it's a
That
responsibility, but they keep happening, and it is hard to talk about and like hear about and listen to
yeah, and it's
different
hard to have to
voices.
say the same thing so many like because like I don't know. There's so many
Yeah.
things to say about shootings and like changing things, but like we've already said them so many times and like
I
I don't
know.
know.
I think we've had almost always at least one, at least the past month, or perhaps more.
That'd
I
be
don't know.
interesting to go back and actually find that number of how many times we've had to cover one
And
because
also just the buzz in general, because
oh
there's been
yeah,
more than just on our day. I mean, of course,
totally.
which is not good that it's that normalized. But I know it's not just I know they're not just on our show alone,
Yeah.
even though we do
Which is
have a
funny.
lot.
I didn't even think about that to be honest.
Yeah.
that
5 days a
that
week.
that just shows that there's a serious issue in the
Hmm.
Hmm.
United States.
Yeah.
And this is my this is these are my opinions. These does not reflect the station one bit.
Totally.
Um, I think that's what you know. If you see the amount of just gun violence, but just used how often it is, there's an issue. And I honestly don't see the purpose of just using guns. I seriously don't see the purpose of it.
Hmm.
As well as this, I get. Fortunately, fortunately nobody as of now we don't know if anybody passed away. Fortunately, that no one's seen dead. Um, and this is not this is an organized shooting, but at the same time, I don't understand why there's going to be gun violence. Why gun violence should be an option, be considered an option.
I know. And then
Yeah.
even in this situation where there's some ongoing feud between these two groups that, again, we don't know much about,
Hmm.
like, why is this the way to solve it, quote unquote? I mean, I feel
Yeah.
like there are other ways, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. It's yeah, try conflict mediation. I don't know.
I don't know.
Um
And maybe not guns.
yeah, it's it's tough. I don't know. It's kind of important to I think examine this sociology of it and I don't know, kind of use that as a bit of a reference, but I don't know. There's so little about the story known, so it's hard to say.
Yeah, it is hard to say. All that we can say is that this is clearly a ongoing problem in America, and we got to figure out something soon. I mean, not
Yeah,
not us, somebody. Well, no, well, we can be a part of the solution, of course, but people in power really have got to take charge, I
yeah. It doesn't
guess.
matter if we say it if it doesn't
Yeah, but
translate.
the important thing is we are talking about on the buzz, very important issues, because one makes people more aware, and we all get our thoughts out.
Totally.
Before we hit to
And
break, Isaiah, you want to comment on anything? Not to call you out, be really
Calling me out.
quiet.
No,
Calling you out, putting you on the spot.
uh, imagine I was like pro gun. That'd be hilarious. I'm not. So yeah, it's tough in this world, like in the United States, because like we're very privileged compared to other countries, especially later on in the show. We're gonna get into another serious topic,
yeah,
but just the thought that sometimes you could just have a problem with someone and they'll resort to solving the problem by ending your life, and they have the power to do that, and it's you have no control over it. And how many people have to keep losing their lives, or how many people have to live life with paralysis because they get shot or something? And
Hmm.
it's when does it end? And I don't, who knows when it even if it will ever end at this point, because it's like, how many more people are going to die from needless violence? And, hopefully one day we can get to a point in life where you can, live freely. And
Mhm.
yeah, it's a
Very well
strange world we
said.
live in, guys. Very strange.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Very well said, Isaiah. Wow. Yeah. Wow. I'm great with words today. Sometimes these topics, to be honest,
No,
are
it
just
can
a
be kind
lot
of
to talk about.
staggering. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we're gonna take a little break here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, some morning buzz. We'll be right back. Good morning, radio listeners. Welcome back to the Morning Buzz. It is the Friday edition. I'm your host, Leslie Gallagher, joined in my virtual studio with by English, Jake Goetz, Isaiah Ramirez, and Cam Martin. And we did get into some pretty deep topics before our little break. And well, I guess the hard news keeps on coming today because we still got some things to talk about. What do we talk about next, Jake?
Oh boy. Um, the whole thing going on in Israel and Gaza. So the headline today is this has been a really hard story to follow. But the headline today is that Israel threatens Gaza ground invasion despite truce efforts. So yesterday, Israel said it was massing troops along the Gaza frontier and calling up 9,000 reservists ahead of a possible ground invasion of the Hamas-ruled territory as the two bitter enemies plunge closer to all-out war. This is coming from the AP, by the way, again. Egyptian mediators rushed to Israel for a ceasefire efforts, but showed no signs of progress. This stepped-up fighting came as communal violence in Israel erupted for a fourth night, with Jewish and Arab mobs clashing in the flashpoint town of Lod. I hope I pronounced that right. The fighting took place despite a bolstered police presence ordered by the nation's leaders. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
I
like I said, this has been a very hard story to follow. And I don't think I've ever seen like I don't know, just like in my social media feed, just so much division.
mm,
I don't know, just starkly contrasting with one another. It's I don't know, it almost has like a silencing effect on me. Because it's
mm,
very unclear, like I don't know.
you mean silencing effect as in like you're not sure where you stand? Is that what you mean?
Not even really, because I think I know where I stand. I just feel weird about saying it.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Isaiah, Cam, you guys have anything else you want to share?
Uh,
Yeah. Hey, Cam, you can go first.
really for me, it's just I don't know how to where to stand in a situation like this because I mean I learned in history what about each side is, and I really I still like dead in the middle. Like I don't know which side to really support honestly, and it's staggering me because I usually there's a clear good and a clear bad, but it's just like there's none of that right in a situation like this. None of that.
Yeah, no, I definitely think I know what you're kind of talking about because I think, especially with the way it's presented a lot, it can give this kind of um, impression that there's just these two kind of entities and just this endless cycle of violence, and that there's no real clear. But I don't know. Personally, what I turn to when it's unclear is who has, especially in terms of like things like these, is who has institutional power,
Mm,
who is like the more powerful entity, who maybe could de-escalate the situation
right.
and
Like who
isn't.
has the power to
Who's the oppressor?
handle?
Who's
Yeah, I mean, in a way, honestly, sometimes I almost feel like using the terms like, especially in this. Well, I don't know. I think it could apply definitely, but I don't know. It's for me. It's really about who has the power. Like, for example, who is backed by the U.S. You know,
Right.
yeah.
who has a very strong military, where the other one is just kind of like strong, but just kind of a ragtag group.
Mm,
I think that's what's important to really look at. And I do think that some responsibility of de-escalation should be put on those with institutional power.
Yeah, that makes sense because if they don't de-escalate it, it's not like the other one really can. They just have to
Yeah, they
keep
just
fighting
kind of
with
have
their
to
country.
go on.
Exactly.
Um,
So that makes
especially when
a
there's
lot of
other
sense.
conditions that make kind of not fighting back kind of hard,
Yeah.
or kind of maybe might even say impossible to just kind of not fight back without almost kind of ceding like everything, because ceding their country. I don't know. I
No, I
don't
know
know.
what you mean.
Again, I feel like this is one of those conversations that you always feel like you haven't read up enough on. So
Yeah.
it's I do feel very kind of apprehensive about sharing opinions on it, but
Yeah.
I think I don't know.
What
I
you've
think
said makes sense though. So
yeah.
yes, I get it. There's a lot of things we do talk about on here that can be, part of our jobs to report it. And normally we do talk about our opinions, but it's also like, it, I completely understand how you feel there.
Yeah.
Isaiah, were you gonna say something?
Yeah. So I have a couple of things to say about this, I guess. And it's just it's crazy that people think that this is like a new thing, like this is coming out of nowhere, but the violence between Israel and Palestine has been for years, and no one seems to really understand that. And I think that's the confusing part how about the media is covering this is that geez, like the violence that it was like currently right now was like just as bad as in 2014. And I feel like I don't know if people forgot about that or the media just didn't cover it enough. But this is nothing like new. Like this is their
Yeah.
life that they're
It's
living.
ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
And then my second point is that I feel like when you see the images of like the rebel and dead bodies, like not like
Yeah.
children and like old people, and it's sad to look at. And if anything, if there's someone that sees that and they're from like the United States, you should realize how privileged you are as
Totally.
because you don't have to live every day wondering if I'm just gonna like you won't know if like you live in constant fear of missiles being like you hear that every day.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't understand that part of life where everything is so easy in the United States. You can go to like Walmart and get anything you want. You can feel safe. All you have to do is wear a mask. That's your only restriction. These people, they can go outside, but deep down inside, they know that this could be it. I could wake up tomorrow and, I never see my loved one again or something.
And
And
that's their
that's what I
reality.
take away from that. It's just, I'm very privileged to be able to not live in that kind of
Oh
environment.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
absolutely. And it
absolutely.
almost kind of gives you a perspective on how important it is to manage things here, because what we have here is very special, and it's important that we preserve that, and it's important that we make it the best it can be.
Right. And we do, of course, like we mentioned before, we do have our own, issues in America, but it's still a different environment. We still have a lot of privilege compared to a lot of other countries.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, we're always going to have issues, right? I mean, and they're very big issues that we do have with violence of our own, but it's not quite the same.
Yeah.
It's, I think the situations are different to compare, you know, maybe too different. I don't know, but it's not. That's not important. Is that we do have privilege, and it's a really good point, Isaiah.
Mm-hmm.
It's important that we keep that in mind. I think a lot of Americans don't, especially when throw
Well,
back to people protesting about thinking that wearing a mask is like
oh
an
yeah.
infringement on their rights,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
is
and it is
ridiculous.
hard because I don't think that like I don't know, like sometimes I feel like it's almost a bit of an odd thing to put too much emphasis on that, because I think like I don't know, maybe this is like I feel like living in a world where you don't worry about like some bodily harm coming to you just by walking outside, like I mean, don't get me wrong, compared to, having where there are parts of the world where there are areas where that is a concern, I understand it, but like I feel like as a nation, like that's the bar, like that's not something that like I don't know, I feel like that's always kind of something that gets me a little mad when like people say like, oh, well, just be happy, that there's safety. Well, it's like, okay, well, there's safety and that's good, but there's still problems that need to be addressed.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I don't know. It's definitely, you do still have to keep in mind that safety is a very special thing.
It is. It is. A lot of people who, especially people who've grown up in America and other
Oh
privileged
yeah, all their
countries,
lives.
totally take it for granted. I know I do sometimes.
Yeah, it's kind of hard not to. Like, I don't know.
Because it's what you
Um,
know. That's why, and
yeah,
but it's important to, I guess,
Is it perspective?
mhm,
yeah, yeah, and like be aware of the world around you and what is going on, and recognize your own privilege and your country and the world and everything.
yeah,
And like before, lot of layers to this. This is another onion.
Yeah.
There's a
There's
giant onion.
big onion.
a giant. I suppose we shall move on to actually a story that happened in America, and always interesting stories from Florida. This one is
we
pretty.
we needed a Florida story for today.
Thank
Of
you,
course.
Florida.
Florida stories are always
Yeah, they
That was a
always
good
lighten
one.
the mood.
Always a good one. Always a good one.
Well, anyways, in Florida, a very okay, well, I won't call the story interesting. We'll just let you see what you think of it. This 28-year-old a Florida woman named Audrey Nicole
Audrey's a
oh,
nice name.
Audrey is a nice name. Okay.
Reminds me of
I love
Audrey from Twin Peaks,
that.
if anybody's seen that show.
I actually think of Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh yeah, Audrey. Actually, that's not the best association with Audrey. That's-
I know, but I still really like that
Yeah,
name.
no, it's a beautiful name.
Don't feed the plant. Anyways, Audrey Nicole Francis Queenie. I really hope I said that right because I was kind of practicing it during the
That
break
is
in my
very
head.
an aggressively Italian name. Yeah.
Is that Italian?
I don't know.
I'm Italian. I'm
I
like,
just see the
what?
Eni.
The Eenie. Francis Queenie. Okay. She was accused of handing out flyers to students promoting her social media account while wearing a backpack and carrying a skateboard and recording her interactions on her phone when she was stopped by school security. And allegedly, she told the officer that she was a student looking for the registration office and was stopped the second time when she continued to hand out flyers. Police identified her through her Instagram, and she was later arrested at her home in North Miami Beach. She faces charges of burglary, interference with an educational institution, and resisting an officer without violence. um, I feel like Isaiah, you're shaking your head a lot here.
Wait a
You
second.
look like you're dying laughing.
This
Okay,
is
so
hilarious.
the first
is
thing I need to
hilarious.
point out is she literally did the "Hello, fellow kids" meme, like with the backpack and the skateboard. That's
Oh my
literally
god.
what Steve Buscemi is wearing in that meme.
Oh
That's
my god.
literally what happened. And also,
This
I
is what the
need
cool kids do.
to ask a clarifying question.
Oh boy.
Why was she charged with burglary? Like,
Okay, that I'm not completely sure on. If we're being
yeah,
honest.
Yeah.
It said it in the article. Okay, this is from Fox News. Um, but I guess maybe there were some other things they didn't mention in this article that she just I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Probably the fact that she is inside of a high school at the age of 28 and does not work there.
Oh yeah, I did not specify. This is a high school setting.
oh my God, I thought it
I
was
meant to
college.
specify
That's so
that
much
because
worse.
in my brain I was like, oh, it's college, right? And then I was like, oh wait, it is a high school. So yeah, she was doing this in a high school setting, which is way worse than a college setting.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Guys, she stole the
Wow.
clothes to disguise herself.
I think that's a theory from our line producer.
Oh yeah.
You know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
wish though? I wish she also stole the skateboard too, just to like.
Yeah,
do
I mean,
that
skateboards
whole
are
meme.
ridiculous
And the
and
backpack.
expensive.
She stole some kid's textbook so she could fit in.
Yeah.
She carries around a science textbook and she's like, "Oh yeah, biology. Here's my social media." That is so
You wouldn't.
Yeah,
Oh
Cam?
my god. You wouldn't. You would think that if you're gonna do something like this, you would make sure that everything's good to go. First of all, who puts out flyers anyway? Who puts out?
Someone who's 28, I guess.
Exactly. At that point,
28 or
yeah.
older.
It's like, yeah.
28 isn't even old. I mean, I don't
I know, but
She
like,
should know that
Every
flyers
28
are.
year olds that could definitely pass as high schoolers.
that's the thing too. Is I was thinking that I was like, how did nobody like notice sooner that she was not like 14?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure, and like
What?
14. Like I don't know. If you're a senior,
Yeah.
I guess you're 18. But
like
that's still a very
I'm
big
sure.
difference.
I mean, I think of like the actress who plays Rory Gilmore from Gilmore Girls.
Rory.
She's looked like
Oh yes,
16 for like the past like 2 decades. Like
yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
true. She has a very
Her face
July,
never changes.
like baby face.
See,
She
I'm
has
gonna
like
need that. I'm gonna need that when I'm older then.
I guess maybe if she looked like her, then yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
Some people have
still.
that. I don't know. They found a youth.
You have a flyer. That is
Promote your social media. That's
Yeah, and
that
also,
is
does anybody
so
really do
early.
that?
That is so 2000s.
That is so, I don't know. That's really, I
Like,
mean, nobody so
what?
promoted their social media in the 2000s. Maybe like, I don't know, their
Late
MySpace or
2000s, like late
something.
2000s, early 2010s.
It's a 2000s thing to do in a 2020 era. Let's go with that. It's a
Yeah, very odd.
weird mix. Handing out flyers is just
Yeah, flyers.
I
Follow
can
me on
understand
Instagram.
like hanging up flyers and like around town. I don't think it'll do
That's
much.
yeah, that's completely different.
It was just her.
Yeah.
Is this just her personal Instagram account?
You know, it did not specify. I'm
Oh,
really
wow.
curious as to what she is promoting. I like what is so interesting on
That's
this.
what I'm thinking. Like, is okay. So say you're at high school, you see this lady, and she hands you a flyer. I'm looking at her Instagram, I feel, because like I'm convinced because she printed it on paper. And I was like, listen, I gotta see what she's talking about on her Instagram at this point.
I mean, everyone loves a good train wreck. Like,
Exactly.
sorry, that was mean, but I don't know.
No,
I think it's
funny
kind of
because
true.
do you think like as she was, being arrested, she like took a selfie and posted it? Like, I don't know.
I
Like,
mean,
social
it's
media is
really good
important to her.
press,
She's documenting her personal life on Instagram.
I mean, we're talking about her now,
I'm on
so
all the
she's getting the
juicy
promotion
details.
she wanted.
True. Yes.
Just in jail, selfie, jeez.
I guess we
Or-
haven't said her at, which is unfortunate.
Oh yeah, I didn't say that. I also just pictured like I don't know, like how YouTubers do like those clickbait titles, or I guess some more they used to, where it's like I spent a night in jail. I got arrested for handing out flyers at a school. Like I feel like that would be her if she like transitioned from like her little social media to YouTube. It's one of those people. But
Waiting
actually,
for the blog.
true, huh?
She didn't become a YouTuber. True story. We don't know, but
Cam is joking, but yeah.
we don't know, but that's a possibility. She has good content at that point then. So
yeah. Well, I love stories from Florida. They give a spice to the show that is indescribable. You know what I'm saying? And you're laughing. Yep. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? They're always different. They hit different, and you know it.
No, incorrect. No, I wholeheartedly agree. I'm not gonna say anything else.
No comment from Cam Martin.
I zoned out for a second, and the last thing, like, I came back and I just heard Leslie say they hit different, and you know it.
Florida stories is what I was.
Oh yes, Florida stories.
Yo, they are too funny.
Yeah, no, very potent.
Like, would this happen in Jersey? I don't know. I don't think so.
Jersey, I don't know.
Jersey mask.
Jersey, I feel like Jersey news just makes you tired.
Yeah.
But like you're not like angry about it. You're just like, oh, okay, Jersey's doing this.
Another day in Jersey.
Unless it's Jersey Shore news, and that makes you happy.
But Jake, here's the thing: we won't get Jersey Shore news until the summer. So like,
ooh,
yeah, but we're getting there. So
we're getting close. Yeah, mid-May, guys. I mean, it's almost
May 19th.
Can't wait. Okay, sorry.
It'll be a good time. Hopefully, COVID and everything, but still. Well, anyways, we've got Trevor Joya for some entertainment TV news.
Yo,
hello, nice background.
Yeah, it's the Blind Bandit, so it's Toph. So
based.
Gotta support one of my favorite characters in Avatar.
Good choice.
Speaking of entertainment news, the big news is the fact that Disney Plus just announced the fact that Free Guy and Shang-Chi is going to be in a 45-day theatrical window. And that's crazy to me. And then after 45 days, it will move to Disney Plus.
Very cool.
Actually,
yeah.
That's not a terrible idea.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's not a terrible idea, and that's a little bit better because I think they started to realize, oh, people are not actually paying for $30 to watch a movie that could cost like like normally like a movie costs about like, depending upon the theater, 15 to like $5, depending upon that.
Yeah.
What do you guys? It's $5.
What theater I go to?
That's
Matinee.
that's
Matinee.
$5. Oh, yeah, that explains that word.
Yeah. But in terms of that, it's really exciting to see that stuff because that makes me kind of start to think that they're actually starting to roll back on what they said. Oh, we're gonna have day and date theatrical window, and then we're gonna have it at the same day on Disney Plus for premiere access. And I'm like, that's not great, but I think they're starting to realize, oh wait, like Godzilla versus Kong made good money, so we can make some good money on that.
Yeah, just for someone like Marvel Studios, that's definitely a huge, profitable project they could definitely make money off of. And to just see something like that, I think it's better for both parties because the consumer way back in the dark ages, the 2010s, we remember the days that we had to wait for the DVDs to come out. If you missed seeing the movie in theaters, you want to see it again, you had to wait for the DVD to come out, and that was like months.
Like a year or something.
You had to wait 6 to 8. You had to wait 6 to 8 months roughly,
just to own it,
just to watch the actual movie and actually own it. And to me, I think that release window is getting shorter and shorter over time.
Oh yeah.
But it's a mixture of things, and also like the fact that I also read that Universal signed a deal with Cineworld and Regal, so that's good.
Ooh.
So I think they're starting to figure out, oh wait, we can't just abandon the movie theaters because they make also a lot of money for us.
Listen, movie theaters are really a true entity to the United States. They're just entertainment in general.
Yes. And I say that forever. In other news, if you love Adult Swim, like classic Adult Swim shows like Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Metal Apocalypse, and the best show, in my opinion, of all time, which is Venture Brothers, is finally getting movies to close out.
Then all three of those shows ended when? They ended in the early 2010s.
No.
Early 2000s. Well, I'm saying like
Venture Brothers ended two years ago.
What?
Yeah, Venture Brothers after I think season 2 started finding its own groove with the show, and it became its own thing. Basically, I don't want to get into everything about it, but I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with the movie. And recently, the showrunner said the movie is going to properly close out and conclude the series. I'm like, yes, we finally get to figure out what happened to a certain character. I'm like, there's so many answers. There's so many questions that need to be answered. And
that's the best part about the those kind of shows. You actually get the resolution that you waited years for at this point. So
like did you ever hear about that show Venture Brothers, you guys, or no?
I know I've heard about it before. I haven't gotten a chance to see it. I haven't thought about it in a while. But no, I definitely need to check it out because I know there's a lot of discourse surrounding it.
Did you ever watch the Adult Swim shows on that stuff?
No, not really. None of those shows, other than like Rick and Morty, which is kind of like, I don't know, very normie stuff.
I was watching. Used to watch Family Guy reruns.
Oh yeah, is Family Guy Adult Swim? I think.
Family Guy is Fox reruns, but also there's more.
That's what I thought.
There's more content that's really good. That's not just on there to be like.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Way back.
I mean, Family Guy isn't. I wouldn't call that really good content.
Yeah, I think what I'm really happy about is like they're finally getting a conclusion on HBO Max, So
Oh,
that makes me
sick.
very happy. And I think, like, it's one of those things as a fan, it just makes me so happy to see that stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And it's just like,
It's definitely really happy to see, like, it's kind of funny because I feel like, I don't know, those shows that you mentioned before are kind of from like, sort of bygone era.
yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I guess they were more like early 2000s, maybe even late 90s. Am I
Early
correct in saying
2000s,
that?
early 2000s.
Yeah,
They're the
um,
kind of shows that will never be made in this day and age.
totally. And it's cool to see those return
Yeah.
back. I know, like, I could say, like, to see a show I really love is Twin Peaks, which was all the way back in like the early 90s.
Yeah.
And to see them reboot it in 2017 was like so cool.
Yeah.
So that is exciting news, I'm sure, for fans.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. What do you think about that, Leslie?
I don't know. I don't really watch the shows that you're talking, or shows and movies that you were talking about. So I was just like, I'll let them do their thing. It happens almost every week when you bring up entertainment stuff. I'm just like, I don't watch the same things as you do, I guess.
It's very deep cuts sometimes. That's what you learn about me.
Yeah, I mean, some I've seen some
I
stuff on
mean,
Adult Swim. And it's
I gotta
entertaining.
say, Gilmore Girls had their reboot too.
Oh my God, A Year in the Life. Don't even get me started.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but the
What?
discourse around it is pretty nice. Hey, I'm still working my way through season 5. Oh wait,
Oh my God,
I'm
I
on
forgot.
6 now.
I forgot you didn't finish the show either. Wow.
I'm on
I
6 now, so I'm getting there.
I rewatched the whole thing and then The Year in the Life right after, like pretty
Okay.
recently.
Yeah, I know
And
the discourse around that is pretty negative.
well, it's only because well, the way it ends. I mean, and speaking of things ending, we
Perfect transition.
we are up on our time for the morning buzz, and if I didn't end it here, I could talk about Gilmore Girls forever. See, I can talk about some shows. It's just me and Trevor don't watch the same things, I guess. But anyway, you're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. I'm your host, Lizzie Gallagher, joined by Jake Goetz, Isaiah Ramirez, Cam Martin, and Trevor Joya. And we hope you have a lovely weekend and a good week.
You're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, where music stays cool. Cooler than the person replacing me for this ID? Wait, what?
WMSC, where music stays cool.